Hello and welcome to the first episode of Building a Munificent class in LEGO. So that is, if you don't know, that's the ship that I'm going to be building in this new series. Oh, and one thing before we get started is that any progress you see in these first few episodes at least will have been made weeks ago at this point because I'm filming these in advance. But let's just get right into it. So right here I have like the blueprint outlines of the ships. Like all these little squares are like the stud map of what it's gonna look like. So like I can look and see all different angles that I need to get. That's just like for the color scheme that I have and some extra reference shots of like what I'm trying to build. So I've gone ahead and brought out my Venator that I built from last summer. And I'm actually building the Munificent to scale with the ship. So it's gonna be like the same size that it is in universe. So this is like a little wireframe kind of thing to show me like the size that it's gonna be. So like we have it like going across and like the wings are coming out, if you couldn't see that. So basically that's the size that it's gonna be next to the ship. So if you didn't know, like that's how big it is, and that I'm gonna build it to like match this frame. Pretty cool. So with a pretty big build like this, you kind of just have to get started. So I decided to start with the wings of the ship. So those kind of match up with that section right there. That's pretty good. So I've started working on like this underside section here below the wing, and there's like these like 5 little circle things there. So I put them on, there's 5 of them there, but it's 10 studs long, but that little section where they're at is only 8. So what I think I'm gonna do is just take off one of the circles and just have 4. Like it's not entirely accurate, but like nobody cares. No one knows how many circles there are. So that's one of the main approaches that I try and go with, is that no one's really gonna notice. They're gonna see the whole ship and they're gonna be like, yeah, that's the ship. They're not being looking at all the tiny details like how many circles there are. It's just not worth it. So I've mostly finished up like this underside of the midsection here. I think it's pretty cool. I like how it got like the angle, like the sloping of those parts. So that's like that section there. And as you can see, I have like these Technic bricks coming out of the middle, and that's something I really wanted to work on with this build, is putting a lot of Technic in there to make it really strong. Like the Venator, which I showed earlier, really didn't have any Technic at all, and I don't know how well that's gonna work in the long run, but oh well. So I'm gonna try and work that in. I don't know how much of this is gonna stay here because there's like stuff that needs to go like kind of where that is. But I put that in just in case. It's a lot of taking apart and putting back together anyway, so it's fine. I think next I'm gonna work back and do like the engines and stuff on the back panels. And also, like, I'm really scared of doing like these large curved panels. So I'm gonna start the back ones because they're smaller, and hopefully I can figure out how to do that, because I really don't want to, but I'll figure it out. So I was having trouble getting like that rounded section there with like how I had things like this, but then I realized that on like the Clone Wars version of the ship, like this, it's actually like cut off, so like I don't have to do like that rounded curve. That's really good because like I can choose which ship I want to build. Like I can take elements from the Clone Wars, or I can take elements from like stuff from the movies like that. That's more like the movie design. So I'm definitely gonna take the version where it's like cut off, because then I can also add the greebling back there, and that's something that I kind of want to do. So that was actually really good, because that just looks really bad, and now I can make it not bad. So I just finished putting together these 2 back panels for the ship. They came out pretty good. It's a little blocky here, but that's fine. I might fix it later, I might not. Now I need to add like the engines back here, because there's like 5 of them down there. And also like there's like greebling that goes along there to kind of like for like the spine of the ship. I'm really liking where the design of these engines are going. The back one's on a bracket, and this bracket is knotted on to this part to extend the engine, and that's just like on the 2 studs there. And it just kind of snaps on like that. But then what I really like is the back panels that I showed you there. I connected them through the middle there. So, and then they also stud into there. So it goes on top of that blue. So that snaps on really strong. So then it goes across. And then I have this part, which is like the front part. That also goes across. So you have two beams running across the ship horizontally. So you get like this really strong connection, like because there's the beam there and the beam there, and you put stuff on top of it and it all snaps in together. And then once I get the other side of this on there, it's gonna be hold together really strong. So I really like that. I like building my thing like bricks. They just don't come apart. You have to like tear it apart. It's great. Quick update a few minutes later, those two support structured cross beam things are now just one 6x6 plate. So that just goes and slaps on top and has all those different stud connections, which is very good. Like it wasn't going anywhere when I had it on before. All right, so this is the state of the MOC after just day one of building this thing, which is pretty impressive. Like this entire back half is in a pretty much finished state. Like that's always subject to change. I usually take this apart and redesign things. Like see that I'm still not happy with that. I changed it a little bit, but not that. But I did get this whole underside section done. There's like these smaller panels on the bottom. The engines I really like. I didn't quite finish the one on the other side. I'm missing some pieces, like I need one more of those rounded ones, and then also the dark gray like inverted panel there, that I couldn't find that one. Like I looked on my ATST and my tank that I built, and also Baby Yoda and the Starfighter, none of them had them, so I'm gonna have to look for that later. And there are only 5 engines. There are supposed to be 7, but I couldn't fit the other ones like kind of in there. It's fine, no one really notices that, but I told you, so now you will. So, whatever. So I'm probably just gonna make this like each episode is gonna be like a day of building this because I'm going so fast. So tomorrow I get to start working on the front section, which is gonna be that times 2, which is always fun. And then I also get like other stuff in there because like there's actually like a big cannon underneath, like over there. Little known fact, I guess. There's just a big gun on the front of the ship. I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, see you in the next episode or an outro if I do that. I don't know. But goodbye.